All right. Now, for the second of the purity runes, the Fetter runes. This. eh, Now, for those of you who are unaware of what a fetter is a chain, a binding, something that is used to hold something fast. Um, a good I don't know what kind of fetters you could go Google up fetters. So you'll come up with something that vaguely resembles old-fashioned handcuffs. That is a fetter. So back to the description of what we have here. Fetter runes. These are a debuff. You should have figured that out by now. There is a theme here regarding our runes for each of the dominions, and it triggers every time that the target is readied or exhausted or healed. And the debilitation is that you prevent the next instance of damage equal to the amount of fetter counters on the target. That should not say blessing, that should say fetter. Ignore this. It should say fetter counters or fetter runes more accurately. Prevent the next instance of damage equal to the amount of fetter runes on the target. So, not only are you being crippled, but you're having your blows held back. So, the types of spells that this covers is banishment, detainment, and suppression. That's what a fetter rune does. Recovery, streetwise. Different, I know. It took me a while to figure out what are we going to use to counter holy powers. I'm like, streetwise might do it, and here's my reasoning too. It's not about whether or not you're guilty, because let's face it, on some level, everyone's guilty of something. The question is whether or not you're smart enough to realize if you should feel guilty about what you've done. And that's very much a streetwise skill. So, streetwise is going to be the skill that one uses to get rid of fetter runes as a full action. It's going to be a streetwise check. And outside of combat, it's going to take a long rest for you to recover from that psychologically. For you to like have the judging gaze of divine beings telling you you are inherently unworthy. You can also pay Stain Shade equal to the fetter runes to have them removed. And you can pay half of the skill. You can make half the skill check to delay debilitation. If your Shade Master is ever so generously inclined. Now, spell types. Sample spells. Over here in the buttons, bullets, we have can banish and detain targets and removes damage from hostile enemies. So, Change of Heart costs 1 purity. Says the target gains a fetter rune. If the target has fetter wounds equal to or greater than their toughness, they cannot attack this turn. Very useful. Guilt's Remorse. It gives a target the aspect of whenever this target deals damage, they take damage equal to their fetter runes. I can sprechen. And lastly, we have a classic from the game, Banish, which is 1 purity shade plus X. The target gains X fetter runes. If the target has fetter runes equal to or greater than their toughness, the target is removed from the encounter for 3 rounds. If the target is a shade summon, it is instead destroyed and may not be recharged for 3 rounds. This was because what I set out to begin with and to why I'm going this direction with the runes instead of um you know limiting the opportunity of your targets. So banish can now be used on anything at any time if there are enough fetter runes on the target. That's how we're moving. That's how we're moving forward with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is essentially the Fetter rune. Let's recap for a bit. It is a debuff. It will hamper all of their skill checks, all of their attack rolls. It will also, if you successfully exhaust them or heal them or ready them, if you force their hand in any way, you remove their ability to deal damage. That's also very significant. Fetter runes are cool. I I would love to see more Fetter rune builds, and we should have some more Fetter rune builds. However, we're coming up to our next set of runes, which is the Vitality runes, beginning with Poison, and you are gonna love this nonsense. See you next time, guys.